What's up, guys? Today I'm here with Jacob. He's a member of our inner circle. He's been working with us for a few months now. In this video, I'm going to kind of have him tell a little bit about who he is, break down his experience working with us so far. Jacob, what's up? Super happy to have you. How's it going, bro?
Yo. Hi, how are you, bro? I'm good.
Chilling, chilling. Okay, cool. So just start us off. Briefly describe who you are, what your business is, what you do. Just kind of give me the rundown.
Hi, so my name's Jacob. I go by Z Collections on Instagram. My business is mostly reselling shoes and shoes and clothing, but I do a lot of bulk mainly. That's what I do. I do bulk. There's some singles in between, but it's mostly bulk.
Okay, fire, fire. So break down a little bit for me what your business looked like in terms of revenue before you started working with us, and then what it is like now. I know we just came off your best month, so we're kind of doing this interview at the perfect time because you killed it last month. Just kind of break down those numbers, the before and the after, so everyone knows kind
So
of what you.
before I joined the inner circle, I was doing around 3K ish per month, which is still, pretty good. But as you said before, I had my best month. I hit 6.1K this month. My prior month was also better. It's been like going up slowly, you know.
But
But
steady.
yeah, I would say joining Inner Circle has been one of the better investments I've made in my career. So yeah, almost double my profit in the course of 3-ish months, which
Yeah,
I would say is pretty good.
which is incredible. So hopefully, hopefully like we talked about, before we started this, hopefully we continue the trajectory and then
Hmm.
towards December we can get like a 10K profit month or something, which I
That's
mean I think is very possible because like you said, like you've been just on the constant uprise. I don't see you slowing down anymore. So let's actually talk about that. What do you feel like was the biggest change that you made from before you joined Inner Circle, but before you had the knowledge, before you started working with us, that allowed you to literally double your business in 3 months?
I'd say the buyers that Inner Circle provides as well, but mostly the techniques for outreach. I wasn't doing a lot of outreach. I was mostly waiting for people to come to me. Like I would sell on eBay, on apps. There'd be a few like resellers in between that I would sell to, but having the knowledge of outreach and who to actually go to and how to perform that, manipulate my words to, to get better business basically. So I would say it'd be outreach and knowing how to talk to sellers and buyers.
So would you say that one of the main challenges that you had before was just only because based on what you just described, sounds like you were primarily just selling to StockX, Go, eBay,
Hmm.
resellers every now and then. So would you say one of the biggest challenges was actually selling? Because you were already at 3K profit a month. It doesn't sound like you were struggling to find inventory per se, but more sounds like you were struggling to sell inventory. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct. I didn't really have the proper buyers per se. I just, I wouldn't sell to actual customers. It'd be, on StockX Go, like you said. So that's definitely what Inner Circle provided me with, which would be the knowledge on how to acquire those buyers and some sellers in between as well, because I've bought off resellers since then, which I wasn't doing prior.
Right. So break down a little bit for me too on that. So I mean, 3K profit a month still honestly a lot better than most people, especially most people that start with us are not even really reselling more than $1,000 profit per month. So you're already at like a pretty good start. What was that like? How were you getting enough inventory to make 3K a month? Were you just botting? Were you retail drops? Like what was kind of the process for
I,
you there?
I was botting retail drops. That was the main
Okay.
thing I was doing. I still do that, which is how I got to 6K a month because there was slides, A6, whatever. But I just focused on botting, but I implemented that with what Inner Circle taught me with outreach, and that led me to scale. Because I still do bot retail, which
Yeah.
it's profitable for me, not for a lot of people, but it is for me. But I can get that bulk and I can sell it for better prices to the buyers that I learned how to acquire.
Right, because now you're not selling to StockX, you're selling to
Mhm.
bulk buyers, so now your margin goes up. Even if it's 5, 10, $15, when you're only making $20, that extra $10 is now making you $30. So it does actually make a huge difference, and most people don't realize that having good bulk buyers and bulk sellers is literally the entirety of the game right now. And so many people just still don't understand that super simple concept. So it's good that you understood that you had an issue with not having the right buyers and sellers and the right systems for actually selling, and it's no surprise now why you're killing it. So I think that's really cool because a lot of people that unlock that kind of struggle with buyers and sellers. Even if they have a skill, like you already have a skill in botting, right? We don't really push people towards that direction because for the vast majority of people, botting is usually not worth the time or the investment. But it sounds like you already kind of had a little bit of experience there, coupled with the strategies that we know work, right? That's proven to work.
Hmm.
It's a recipe for success. So, cool. Let's talk a little bit about our, I guess, our relationship working together. Um, can you describe the time commitment from your end, working with us, and what kind of problems did we simplify and solve for you, other than like the buyers and the sellers?
Um, so the time commitment on my part, it wasn't that much. The main time commitment came from me actually, joining the calls, like in inner circle,
Hmm.
and I just attended those, consistently. I gained my knowledge kind of passively. I would just sit there and listen, basically, ask
Yeah.
questions, whatever. And then another big part of my that took a big chunk of my time was actually outreach, which it always takes a bunch of time to acquire those people. But there wasn't really other struggles I faced. It was just learning from the calls and actually applying it myself, not just sitting back, being spoon fed, but not actually taking action on it. I'd listen and then I'd take action. That's what took up most of my time.
Right, exactly. And for most, and honestly, if I could hang up that as a quote on the wall, I would, because as much as we can give you all the information in the world, if you don't actually take the information and do stuff with it, it's not like you're just going to magically start getting buyers and sellers. So dig into that a little bit more. How much time would you say you spent per week doing outreach in the beginning, before you really started to see some like crazy results from it?
I would say anywhere between 10 to 20 hours. It's nothing crazy. I mean, people work, 60 hours a week. That's a lot. But
Yeah.
it starts off high, but as you get the hang of it, it goes lower and lower and lower. Now I barely do outreach because I have access to those people. But it went from like 15, 20 to like, 10 and 5, and then just go lower and lower and lower. Now I still spend a
Leverage,
few.
it's leverage, right? It's sorry to
Yeah.
cut you off, but it's leverage. So now in the beginning you had no leverage because you didn't have any connections. Now you have leverage because you already have those connections. You're not having to go out and completely start from zero. So it's absolutely just leverage that's allowed you to do that, and that's dope. I mean, even 10 to 20. I mean, like you said, most people work 40 hours a week and still don't make $6,000 in a month. So it just goes to show you what's possible when you actually go into a business model or a hustle that allows you to have some more leverage than a job. So,
Hmm.
100%. Um, cool. We talked a little bit about this before the call too, but tell me where you see your business based on the results that you've gotten so far. I mean, you doubled your business in 3 months. That's no joke. Do you see yourself doubling your business again in the next 3 months? Where do you see yourself in the next 6 to 12, for
I would
example?
hope so. I mean, you have to have some ambition to what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I'm trying to aim for 10K by Christmas because market goes crazy in Christmas.
Right.
Just like back to school helped me get 6K. Maybe Christmas will help me get 10K. Hopefully God will allow me to, but that's what I put myself. That's what I put my mind to. That's what I want to do. I think it's very achievable, but based on my previous results, and I'm sure you guys can help me out with that.
Yeah, 100%. And real quick, just tell all the viewers, how old are you?
I'm 16.
16. So 16 years old, $6,000 a month, that's $72,000 a year. I think the average American makes 48. So honestly, you're already on track to make more than the average American, which is insane because these people we're talking about like 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. So big ups to you. What would you say surprised you the most about Inner Circle? And what are some misconceptions that you kind of had before? I know it's obviously a big jump for most people, and it's like a little bit intimidating at first. What do you feel like was the thing that surprised you the most about it? Like you weren't expecting to get this crazy result, and then what was something before you joined where you were like, this might not be it for me?
So the main thing that kind of held me back initially was the price, because it is a good amount. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's a little amount of money. It's a decent sum of money.
Sure.
But once I actually got into Inner Circle, the community itself and how people were speaking, and it was mainly business focused, which I kind of struggled before with. The communities I was in was there was a little bit of banter in between, if you would say. But like,
Too much goofing off because the
yeah,
reality,
yeah.
and I'm gonna chime in real quick. The reality is the reason we charge a premium price is because we don't want people in there that are not serious. We actually used to have a $15 a month group, and it was super super dirt cheap. and no one in there was actually making any money because they were just there to goof off and have fun. The reason Inner Circle's full of killers is because everyone's paying a premium to get in there. You're not going to pay a big chunk of money and then just mess around. That's not what you do, right? So that's honestly, believe it or not, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons why you got that success, because you were I mean, you spent that money. You weren't like, okay, I'm going to sleep now. You were like, okay, let me watch all these videos. Let me lock in. Let me add these calls to my calendar. Let me start doing outreach today, and that's why you are where you are. So that's for a lot of people. That could be that it usually is like the biggest thing holding them back because they see the results, they see the testimonials. But once you get over that hump and you take the risk, I mean, you saw what happened with you. Well, imagine you were too afraid to take that risk. You might still be at 3K a month or maybe even going backwards. You know? So
I mean, I'm glad I made that decision, and I think what you say is true because everybody there is locked in, you know, because you know they spent that money, they have to make that money back. You know, it puts something in your mind that says, okay, I spent this, I have to make this and more. You know, you can't like you said, you can't just go to sleep on it because you know,
yeah,
then you'd
because
be taking a loss.
100%. And we've also invested tons and tons of money. Some programs 5 times as much as our program, 10 times as much. So it's just it's the levels to entrepreneurship and how you continue to level up.
Mhm.
I guess the last kind of question about that program is, what surprised you the most about, like, were you surprised by the results that you got? Did you think it was going to be possible to get this?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I would. I don't think I would. I would have been at 6K, 6.1K to be exact, without Inner Circle. When my entry call, I was talking to Aiden, and my goal for 3 months was 5K,
Yeah,
and
so it smashed it.
you know, I did what 20% more than that, which
Yeah.
is a very good number. That surprised me the most. You know, I was thinking like, oh, okay, this will maybe add like an extra 1K, but doubling it, that surprised me the most.
Okay. Fire, dude. That's awesome. If one of your good friends was on the fence about joining in their circle, or even just like some random person, right? Like someone you don't know, what would be the one thing that you tell them to convince them to take the risk, go over the edge, burn the boats?
What I would do personally, I would show them results for me as well. I would show them results first, and I'd say, "Oh yeah, that's just you." I would convince them by, I'll give them like a little sneak peek. Let's say, you know, I can show them the chat, show people are not they're actually about business. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
go in the WhatsApp, people are there are just there's lists sent out daily. You know, people are they're locked in. You know, just show them that and be like, "Oh, we're not messing around over here." You know what I mean? It's like that. That's how I would put it. Respectfully.
Respectfully, that's fire. Okay. Well, dope. That's really all I have for you. Is there any, and first of all, too, congrats. Like your kid, like
Thank you.
real
Thank you.
real talk. I know it's hard to. I know you see all the other people on Twitter, Instagram flexing like crazy numbers, Lambos, watches, but there's not many 16-year-olds doing the kind of number you're doing. So give yourself a pat on the back for that. Most kids are still working a job, making 2,000 a month, or just smoking weed and doing bad shit, right? So you're locked in. That's fire. Um, are there any last words you want to share with the viewers? Anything about yourself that you want people to know, or just
Mm,
anything else?
so what I would say to everybody is you have to take a risk in order to succeed. You know, you can't just sit on your ass all day and expect results to come in. So take action, take that risk, and then you'll actually make something out of it if you manipulate that properly and apply it to your business.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Well, cool. Jacob, I'm gonna link all of your stuff down in the description too.
Hmm.
Just so people can, if there's any resellers watching this, they can go do business with you. And yeah, dude, keep killing it. Hopefully, we'll be hopping back on another call in 2 months from now or 3 months from now in December, and you'll be telling me how you made 15K or 10K in a month. I think you could like you said, your goal was 5K. You hit 6. I think you can shoot for higher than 10. So let's just shoot
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
Let's,
Hopefully,
let's have a
hopefully.
good December. I'll help you a little bit more. We'll talk after this call and give you a little bit of sauce to make sure we get you
Thank you,
there.
thank you. I appreciate you having me. Have a
100%.
good day.
Yep, you too, bro.
Thank you, thank you.